what comes to mind when you think as, so this is a term that I invented. Okay, I invented this.
I was about to say Florina comes to mind because you coined the term.
Yeah, I invented because I think it is important. Everything is as a service today.
Yeah.
X as a service, everything. Why not management in the workplace, right? As a service, and any action item on being a servant leader, being in the service to the team. Any action verb that comes to mind, what would the manager like that do?
Motivate.
Obstacle removal.
Motivate, obstacle.
Obstacle removal.
Okay, verb,
Facilitate.
action,
Verb.
action. I like action.
Facilitate. Coach.
Coach, facilitate. Enable. Empower.
Partner.
Ignite. You can imagine I'm looking for a particular verb. That's why I'm polling. Maybe it's coming.
Manage.
Partner.
I wouldn't say that.
Does partner count?
Partner, yeah.
It's a verb. It's not a verb.
It's a verb.
Inspire.
An action. Inspire, it's really good.
Listener.
Listen, yes. I think we covered almost all the APIs that I shared on the last slide, but this action, no? They don't know anything.
They don't know.
Micromanager.
No, X. Mentor.
Support.
You're getting close.
Oh my God.
It's hot.
Uh.
Serve from leadership, servant leadership, but
Support is
support is
kind of,
close.
kind of, okay.
Enable, yeah.
I love this guy.
Come on, it is not this hard. It cannot be this hard. Okay, next slide. Help. I'm alone here, help. And I suppose you have read, or if not, at least maybe seen the film where she is a maid and she's growing a little white girl, and with every occasion she tells her, you is kind, you is smart, you is important. So this is the mantra that this lady in the help film, she's the help to that family, is raising that girl. So how many managers here? Let's see, a really quick count. One, well, the first row here, I can see that.
Not me.
Very confident. So let's lower a little bit the manager's confidence, okay? Next slide. So if you're a manager, like she said, you is kind, I hope. You is smart, I suppose. You is not so important. So that's what I want to set the stage for this cultural transformation is the managers are not important. Everybody agrees? Besides the managers. Yes, including the managers. Yay. So let's take a look at this. This is the hierarchical organization that we are part of, right? So who is important? John Chambers? Ah, okay. So everything then comes down in a command and control fashion from above, down, delegating. I'm delegating to David, and David is delegating to his team, and eventually gets to Sachin, who needs to do the work. Right? So everything flows down. This is the current model. Now imagine we flip this. So now everything comes from below, right? So that is what we're trying to do. We're trying to empower the teams, and then they reach out and call those APIs on the managers as a service to get the help that they need, to get the support that they need.
John Chambers?
No, John will get as many obstacles and requests that the teams from below push up to him. And his job is to make sure that those teams get the support and the help that they need because they are doing the work. Right? Okay? So I have many friends here. So Onur sent me this because I said, what you propose, it is actually a holocracy. So he sent me the Dilbert. I'm not going. I don't have the time to go into it. But holocracy, eventually, in his mind, is this sounds like wander around. That's what managers will do in a holocracy system, in the new system, wander around. And really enough, in the APIs, I have wander around API because I think it's important. Next. So I think the main goal is to abolish command and control. And I mean really abolish, not just saying, doing it, okay? So no command and control anymore. But the question is why? Is command and control bad?
Command control only takes so much. If you want to go beyond that, you have to get.
So any ideas when the command and control might work? When does it work? Does it ever work?
It works in the military. It works.
Good point. So in the military it works. Why? Because there you train the people to go fight and risk their own lives and do actions that are against their self-defense instinct, right? So there is an article out there from Joel on software, really old, I think 2006 or so, where he explained, because I was a control freak. I was command and control. And they can attest. I was the fiercest command and control lady when I joined TrueSecure. And I changed. So it is possible to change. It is, as long as you believe that that is the right thing to do. So back to the army example from Joel. He said soldiers are trained to do two main things. One is the freeze command that they receive. So they are trained on the freeze command and mine command. Just stop, don't do anything, freeze. And they do this over and over and over and over again. And then the other one is they are trained to charge. So if the enemy attacks, then the charge command is given and they need to run towards the enemy and shoot. So freeze and charge. Now the big question is, if you are on a minefield and you got a freeze, but you have the enemy shooting at you, and you got a charge, what are you going to do as a soldier? Your instinct. Your instinct is to freeze. I'm going to freeze, don't step on anything. But this guy here is going to charge. Right? So everybody then freezes and they all die. So the only command that has any chance of saving the soldier, any soldier life, is to charge and run to the minefield, right? And that is against the instinct that the soldiers have to protect themselves and flee. So that's why they train them, and it is command and control, because there it is a battlefield. Are we here on a battlefield? Almost. Every day. Who's charging? So the reason that command and control doesn't work in this type of environment where we have creative work, what we do here is creative work. We create. We are artists in a way. Is not only because people don't like it, because I personally don't like it, but it is because first, practically, it's impossible. It is impossible for a manager to micromanage each and every single person in his team. Because it is not a type of work where everybody is doing the same thing. Like you would say, clean your weapons, and then 50 guys would go clean their weapons and you go have a drink, right, in the officers' club. That's not the case. So here, everybody is doing something different. It is particular and specific to their expertise and to their thing that they are creating. So it is practically not possible to micromanage everybody, right? And then on top of that, whomever at that bottom of the pyramid is doing the work, guess what? They have the information and they know the best. What to do, how to do it, when to do it, what do they need, what problems do they have. They are the best persons to make the right decisions. It's not the managers. And even if, let's say, oh, but then we make them tell the managers all that information, and then the managers will do the decision, will make the decisions. Why? Because managers are smarter?
Because the managers know why they're doing that thing.
No,
There are people at the bottom level.
problem. People should know why they are doing that thing. Not managers. People should know, why am I working on this
You
thing?
cannot expect that from a fresh out of a college person to have that context or that knowledge to do that. So I don't agree with the thing.
So you join a team, and the team knows what the work needs to get done. And you join that team and you start to learn, right? And you as a team, you are empowered and you are in the position